Isama Guru Ranam Taya Me Tazuji Nagi Chini Jivi Sanati Dula Pinji Sanji Doba Chedon Zoji Chona Lai Chanchu Bado Dani Gyazu Nagi Chini Jivi Sanati Dula Pinji Sanji Doba Chedon Zoji Chona Chanchu Dani Gyazu Nagi Chini Jivi Sanati Dula Pinji Sanji Doba Sho.
来听你机器保护，叫人不送头下电吧？他的球啊现出来，他把头给累吧？把头都快累死的。
好多很差不多。
Yeah.
Okay, verse number 90, right? We covered that part though already.
他的的把头机器把头送下的感觉是呢。아니 무슨 남기세요, 무슨 남기세요, 되게 대기지 봐도 저거 무슨 투 교회를 받아도 내주기 세수나 이 20번 저거 무슨 투 20번도 숨기 저거 무슨 투 숨자니 니 교회를 받아도 기름 기내도 기름 자체가 정시디 말하는 마음반에 이어야 되는 공부중에 기시받을 수 있겠지. 이 정시디 기름과 조림이 이에서도 기름도 조릴 걸 근데 저기야 지워디 주부다 잘 봐도 들는 거다 잘 니께와도 주부다 잘니다
Okay, verse number 90. It says, inspire me to practice the first stage, this simulated yoga that transforms birth, death, and bardo into three Buddha bodies. Right? So we have been talking about what is birth, death, and bardo. We covered that subject. Right? So the reason why we have to talk about these three things, these are actually ordinary things, or something that is actually propelled by karma. It's natural things that occurs in our existence. So we need to talk that because in this practice, we try to purify these ordinary things into a divine nature. It means three Buddha's body, right? Sometimes they call three kayas. Yeah? And there are two different types of practices that actually enable us to purify these ordinary things into a divine things. The first practice is called the generation stages, and then the completion stages. These are the two main practices of tantric. Mainly try to purify all these ordinary things into a divine nature. Yeah. So we try to witness the ordinary birth, which is actually caused by karma. That needs to be purified. So these three things, these ordinary three things, is normally we call it jiangxi. Jiangxi means object needs to be purified. That means like contains all the stains and stuff like that. That needs to be purified. And there are three things correspond to these three things. It's called like purifier, something that actually purifies all these the ordinary things. So these things are called three kayas. Yeah. So we need to integrate the three kayas with the ordinary things. So ordinary things need to be transformed into the three kayas. The three kayas are some the birth the birth as the nirmana kaya, and that is what's it the uh, dharmana kaya, and the bharta is the samoga kaya. Okay, we try to transform all this ordinary into that kind of nature, Buddha nature, Buddha bodies.
第一三弹幕，叫完了就得写，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，这个把都能给俺们接接吧，都是写不了，写不了，写不了，这个写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写不了，写
Pardo, and going to talk about, I think, the bird. Yeah. Anyway, so these three things are object that needs to be purified, right? Purified. This is actually caused by karma and stuff like that. They need to be purified. In order to purify all these three things, we need to know exactly what death is in the death. We need to identify, we need to define what thing we call death. So that's why we went through this very detailed explanation of how the death occurs, all this dissolution process and stuff like that. At the end, we enter into the clear light, and then we see death, right? So from that moment, so then we also cover or study how we enter into the pardo, how we take on the pardo bodies, some of that. And then later after that, we need to arise, or means lung means arise, or birth, how we take a birth from that state. So when we know all these, the basis or the things needs to be purified clearly, what exactly that means, what exactly they are, so then we know how to correspond all these things with three bodies, three kayas.
다디네 가상 바도를 레디바 다 바도시아디 바도시아디 간 가지 두그레스네 치심 참모지야라 치심 라바지다 치심 참모스니셰 치심 라바디 중시가 인드 가바디 체나니 치심 라바디 중시 네 중시디 가베다 중시가베 워도 아니 나와 chopa nieto se chirwa is negus achi se rapati che ta nanji thusum de gabe wo de chisim chamu de le cho se se ti cho se ti gaba tang ti patu tu ine patu ke
So then if you remember, there are two stages in death process, the gross kind of death, and then the subtle death, right? Where kind of like, the, what you call this, the natural death, and then the subtle death. Okay, so natural death means natural death, or the gross death, gross level of death. I don't know, gross level of death. So that means like once we cease all these four elements, once it ends the dissolution process of four elements, and of that there occurs the gross death, or the natural conventional death, conventional death, right? Stops breathing and stuff like that. Then we go through three stages of appearances. At that moment, the conventional death has been occurred already. So we are going through this process. So when we enter into this clear light, right? Clear light, once we leave from the clear light, then the subtle death. Tissue again. Hold on. So let me clarify. the nangji to some the chism rapati wala. Nangji chiren na rakben ne kapti the chiwa wesen de chism tamu de lewa. Chism tamu the chism le mara kan de chiyo mara. Chiyo chism tamu de chi mara.
Chism tamu de ne
chiyo mara. Okay. So when we are during the three appearances, so that is gross death or conventional death. Okay. So when we enter into the clear light, we are at the most subtle mind of the death. Okay. Death is not occurred yet, right? Still this life sort of like now. So but that mental state is called the most subtle mind of the dead person. Okay? Dying person, sort of like.
I think about the Josuna. Badu de Lu to get this to be in that Jawati and the near Jane, and Pame Buddha de Josuna. The Badu Lu to get it to the sinner. She's in Tamu division by the Moon Jerry. Moon division, just about you seem to tell it to the
So then, from that, after this clear light, so we enter into the Pardo stage, Pardo stage. So that means, so normally when we take a birth as a human being, we depend on substances from our parents. So then that substance such as our body, physical body, right? But the part of being has different. So that part of being uses their more subtle wind as a substantial cause of their body. Okay?
That's in a Badu Tumata do Ludo in your dogs to the near and your dog to you. Trouble some Tamutin to Machi to Jamba, some Rapatima, Gaga Gas, a Tamuti shoulder to Viva. That is Badu to me in the Jamba near the same Tamuti to it. Sure, we see the dead Rapati Nieto. Nieto Diniela to Dine Cheva to Dine no Ganaba sing it together. The 2000 Dine Gundo Jaju with some rapidly immersion to get. Dine the honey some rapatos. That jail surgery.
So when we enter into the Pardo stage, so then all this consciousness, the consciousness going into a reverse manner, right? The reverse process. So when we're dying, the grosser level of consciousness and wind tend to dissolve into subtle one. Subtle one, it gets more subtle, all the way to clear light. So right after the clear light, when we enter into the part of being, so then the near attainment occurs first because this is more subtle, one of the most subtle, the wind, the most subtle wind. From this, the near attainment, sort of like near attainment is a little bit grosser than the clear light, yeah, but still subtle. It's subtle than the subsequent all this wind or the mind. So then it rises from the most subtle level of mind to the grosser one, goes all the way up to the 80 conceptual minds. Okay. So then it's like near attainment to white, or red to white, then all these other the 80 types of mental consciousness.
That in a Badu the could Dambu to in the Ombu Kunzai Chevre. Now Ombu, Ombu, you say Cherva. Take Ombu Kunzai, Ombu Kunzai. Magic the Garrison, near Jane, nearly Jane to Dambu. ombudige rimba shinu tuburu ba ombu chita tuburu jijat kumara ombu kunsan smith
So when the part of beings, when they check on their body, their physical body, right body, so that body, all of his the organs, the sense organs, arises spontaneously. It's not like our human beings. Human beings, we enter into mother and father's substance, and it takes time to develop all these organs, the sense organs, right? So in this pardo stage, all of this occurs like spontaneously.
that is yeah padu yebe pechita da padu tu yeya ge peti karele sen padu yeya peti melam gi chiade nanzu ni tu ko ni de te sab tu tamba ani nyelam tangarwa nyelam tan pha chu nyelam na pha ru ya ta chi ti chi ba ni ge ya melam gi chamu chi tu ne ni ni ku te ni gi ra pa chi ba ile los jeni yu chamuchi chungnen zhuya jiyari pati da nigi nigus, melam gi nigus. Oti yinsa di yuesa di patu yuebe puchi rachiri. Di patu le techi rapari yuite raga rachiri ba. Niya tindigi yu rapati shaane ni ni tubi negus yu rapala ni kudera ba. The negos, you rapidly rose, you tamuchi, melang news, you tamuch sune, los chidro yacher. Odi, indeed you tamuti, patu, you be to chile, petition.
So we also cover that, so there are some reasons why we should think and why actually give us some possibility of the part of being existing or part of being. Right? We use the logic or the reasons like dream body. Right? So in the dream, same thing. It happens like very similar to part of being. So when in the dream we sleep, we have a gross kind of body in the sleeping state. But when we have a dreaming, so then the dreaming takes on a special body, the dreaming body, a dream body, and it actually acts in a that way. So this is the analogous or the reasons why we can say there is the part of being.
That is melam gi karasure. Melam gi ni kuyin tu tamba, and the chidu na shinje. Sembrava di class tene jungi timreta na sun yinzam da chichari tene chois ya karsa ni gre sesiati ni tu negasu ni gre sesiati chichari ya se digitala ani ni gre se digitala ani melam dishagerba odi di chirim na shinje Nik negosu chirim nam shinje jungshi timju diraba cha di chale chua seti nik seti ni seti ga inde ni padu di nik yuji ba ni yu chamu chiteni kumbule los jitu ba odi tu bierba di padu ni tu tiba cheche.
So the when we go to sleep, when we are sleeping, and all this dissolution process occurs in some degree, very similar to our death process. All these elements, dissolution of all these elements occurs when when we're sleeping, and are to the all the way to the wind, right? So it happens, and also we go through all these three luminous kind of appearances, very short moment at the time of like sleeping, exactly happens during the death. We have like experience very similar to that, and at the end, so then we enter into the sleeping clear light. Okay, when we enter into sleeping clear light. So then, and from that moment, we can have a dream. So we dream after that. When we enter in, when we reach to that point, and subsequently we can have a dream. So that dream is very similar to part of being, part of being's existence.
다티네 다 바두디 개발을 누구야봐 이때 숨바티니 니디 니 비네도스 자신나서 제베 유나 지야르바 이때 니는 길리기 충분히 걸었지 쇼인데 니세게 니세인데 다 니세게르바 예단 개발이 부티 바두 리티 가르소레 바들이 풍부라 많이 년도 좀 자연들 그 겨울인 게 여러분 지나시 이제 디 내림기 유지 아니 류라 바들 취슈인들 니세들이 니세가 되다 저 잡으래 바들 기시도 저
As we withdraw our dreaming body into our sleeping body, or the all body, right? All body, that acts very similar to taking a rebirth. So when we take a rebirth, so we are kind of leaving part of the state, enters into the mother's womb in that substances in that womb, right? So it's this action is very similar. During the dream, we have a dream body. We engage in all these activities. We do things like what we do in all this, engage into all these actions, activities in our dream. Similar, like all the part that has all these activities, and they carry out their kind of actions during that time. Once they leave, the part of stays, so they enter into the mother's womb. Very this process is very similar to our waking from our sleeping state.
다들 다 봐도 때 봐도 봐도 간데스키가 봐도 때 주기 말이 네 걔네들 걔네시야 주기 주시기 네기 아니 공기시제 개발인 주기 주기 주시기 주기 아니 네기 공간을 개발했어 제네시야 기주들 어디에서는
주기로.
디나네 주기리
So there are four types of births, right? Spontaneous birth and the birth through the heat and egg, right? Egg birth and womb birth. So this part of being is spontaneous birth.
어디 봐도 주기를 봐 냐와디 주기 이다라다 내기야 냐와디 주기를 봐도디 주기를 사디 주기를 나도 주기를 제사 주기 세야지
So the
다 주기 제와세도 그 차제 신다는 말도 그 신의 네 내가 배말라 소바tin 얘기는 신은 삼이게 냐와 주니 냐와 네스 그 계지기 깨두게 그 주기세
ah, siya lang may tempo siguro eh. Siya lang may tempo lang di makanda. The
걔네 시험을 몇점 봐봐
kaya siya lang may tempo siguro. Okay, the
그나 내기는 아마 고등학교 때도 년점 잡으러 봐 원기는 아니야
Gomal tempo rin.
고말을 때는 깨버려
ale kamal tema siya.
네 저시기는 저다 셀러서 봐추 추나를 깨야지야리 저를 때는 깨야지야리 그 저실에 두기야 말이 어딘지 지켜봐 인san 주기시
Saya mal tema siya. The hell realm birth is spontaneous birth, and the God's realm birth is also spontaneous birth, and the Holy Ghost is depends like something they just depend on. They rely on parents, stuff like that. So not always, the other ones, right? Okay, now, okay, how how you define spontaneous birth? So let's give an example, like someone take a birth or rebirth out of in a lotus. Okay, so that would consider as spontaneous birth. Okay, and then another one reason he said it's not depending on other factors, other things. Comes into like into comes coming to an exit sort of like naturally. Yeah. So then he elaborate. He says, for instance, when we take womb births, we depend on our mother and father, right? Egg births, we depends on eggs and mother again, mother, and then the heat or the moist, right? Depending on that. So it depends on the heat and moist, right? So that another one, the spontaneous one, is not tend to depending on that kind of factors. Okay.
음. 다들 다 지기 그것이 다들 다 얘기 주시네. 다들이 그 봐도 되래 얘기 주시던데 주주여 버리 얘기 주주야.
And also part of being they have magical powers, right? That magical powers they have gained this through their karmic kind of result. Okay, karmic result. What you call it? Karmic magical powers.
다들이 다 봐시디 제일 가수 봐시 돈주 봐시 두스나 이 돈주 교환 연구들이 있지 봐시디 도봐야 말이죠. 기타기 돈주 교환 봐시디 개차수는 돈주 교두리 영화 교환 봐시디 개차수는 영화를 기그리 기시디 영화 기시다 이거들이 있어요.
And if you remember again, there's a in the according to Abhidhamma Koshikarika, I think it said that once you enter into Bharata state, so then you cannot reverse that process. Let's say if you're going to be born as a lower the animal realm, as an animal, right? Going to animal realm. So once you take on that Bharata state, so it's definite that you're going to be born as an animal, right? So there's no irreversible, there's no modification, no nothing.
다티는 엄마 군주스니 저리 다티 때는 바주 아니 냐두기 바주 주네야 아니 자네들 바주 바주네들 수치잖아 치 아니 선음도 친구 사베이는 아니 냐두 바시티 도네 덴두리 기기디 스티어 인구리 스티어 바시티 Doa tidak di pasiti kene yang doa tidak di kisi kekurannya banyak. Di orang tu pasi padu negap su syarikat di sungguh tua di sungguh teni. Ani nyedu kaya padu tunna yang di nyedu kaya lema apa tentu kaya itu.
And then the other text, Ngobakundu, I think it's called a collection of something. I don't know. Anyway, anyway, I don't remember. Ngobakundu. Abhidhamma question. Where's somebody? Pavatoming. Asanga's text. Okay. I don't know exact name of the text. Anyway, in that text, if you remember, right, and then in that text it said, of course, part of being has a lifespan, right, 7 days, and up to like 7 times, 49 days, stuff like that. But that's a considerable amount of time to do something, right? So then, according to that text, it said you can change. You can change during that state. Change means like you can modify, you can manipulate. It's during that process. So let's say like when you take rebirth as part of being, then that part of being is going to be, and then when you enter into that part of being, it says you're going to be born as a low in a low realm or animal realms, right? So then, if someone engaged into some kind of virtuous act and stuff like that, that can actually that force of virtues can change that process.
Yeah.
Instead of going to low realm, that can actually do right and change the direction, and can be born into a higher rebirth, stuff like that. Right?
Ornament of clear realization?
No, no, not that.
It's not that one.
Clearly, that is not that.
다들 다 봐도 제대로 받든다지 있어야지. 링더들이 린다지 있어야지. 봐도를 깨니 니만지 대니 기실을 돈이 해버리 니 숨드네 해버리. 다들 봐도 제대 링더들이 샤드이리 샤드. 되네 기시 만년이 야 봐도 치 야 봐도를 깨와래. 자든 되니 시주 봐도 delivery.
Yeah, again, if you remember, the lifespan of the powder beings, like maximum lifespan will be like 7 days, right? So if they are not able to take any rebirth during these 7 days, then they're going to be born as a powder being again, right? And that is not definite again. So some people, some beings, when they enter into powder beings, as soon as they enter into powder being, next moment they can take a birth, maybe in 1 day, maybe in 2 days. It's totally, it's not definite kind of things, sort of like. Yeah.
다기 다시버 푸주기 쳐봤어. 야와기는 다시버 푸주셔야 되더리. 다 치시네 딘바 시버 푸주세는다 바두이는 바두기 치심 참마도 그러봐. 치심 참마도네. 다디 야와리 기야이나 디신 디 시버 푸주 들어봐. 아니 남시디 그듯이 근데시 그래. 시버 푸주기 잡아 야와 깨나 샤나문에 폴라스.
Analysis.
이다도 깨나 돈도 깨나
That's how much cousin chick right?
다디 이게 시에 다서 되게 이게 시에 차리
She's something.
고양이 치도 치.
Okay, so now
다스디 이마게
okay, now Ramesh is going through all this list, right? So how you transfer or eject your consciousness from your body, right? There are different places, that actually indicates where you're going to be born, right? If this is actually, if your consciousness, I mean, like that person's consciousness ejects from the lower door, so that indicates they are going to be born in a hell realm, right? And there are lists. I don't, if you remember, like, so Ramesh was going to go through all this again. He said, he wanted to go over again because to make sure you understand.
어디리다. 다디네 단다 시바디네 시바시세 시도가 어디디나. 기시 등이 좀 자네 계지 당부 기시체. 그 기레 시바세 기시 등이 좀 잠 계지 당부 기시 시바시세. 계지 네번에 마시기 발때는 우리도 시바세. 시바니체. 얘네 세 냠수에 뒤기 시바디 다왜 세차에 내그 시바들라 네 치시시 치시지 다음 문제기 시바 시베 문제기 시바지 기시다 기시를 봐 기시 세디게 기시 담부들라 기시
계속 당번에 계속 니보다 원토로
문제기 시바
원토 시바 아니 숨바디 왜 쓰지바 발시지요 왜
치시지 오늘 벌시지
되셔 가서 시바 시어로 와
시바시
KCG. 아니,
문제가 있어봐.
원투 시바치 아니,
니 치시제,
CCG.
아니 발시제.
벌써 제 발도를 해야 돼요.
네네.
알았어.
일단 시바시세야 돼. 시바시세야 돼. 아니 기시세야 돼. 기시세야 돼. 니 좀 저게 제 담부들라. 기시 좀 버려. 되네 걔네 마치기 받을 문제가 있어봐. 되네 문제가 시바디 가스
CCG.
아니 치시 좀 버려. 치시드 가인도 바시 좀 버려. 네 시바시세야 돼.
So this okay, death, birth, pardo being established there, right? Or there are four stages of samsara, okay, or four stages of our existence. You can say something like that. Four stages of our existence. So that means like first we take birth, kewa, birth, right? Then death, right? And in between, okay, in between and intermediate. These are the four stages of our level of four stages of our existence.
다지스마. 다드네. 다 언제 수미를 깨는 파트 매스기야. 수미를 깨서 수미네 로스 매버리. 미네 다 미네 미 치킨 버스 수미를 깨니는 미네 다 수미네 그러면 미야. 이네 산에 책에 있는 하이트스제 수밀의 로스 네버리 아니 하다 밀의 로스 야르바
Let's say someone's going to take rebirth in formless realms, okay? So they don't experience pardo or intermediate states. They're kind of like born into that realm instantly. So because the formless realms, they don't have physical location and they don't have any fixation kind of like a place to take rebirth. Okay, it can happen anywhere because there's formless. Let's say like if human beings dying and going to be born as a formless being, so this human being is going to experience formless realm right there, as in in this human realm. And he says like he's going to if he's a god and die and going to be born as a formless being going to that realm, is going to experience formless realm right there. Yeah? The formless realm doesn't have any fixation places, fixed place or the location.
다지 다 봐도 되겠구나.
그래서
다지 근데 봐도 숨쉬야지. 봐도 숨쉬야지. 봐도 지 그래 봐도 숨쉬야지. 봐도 숨쉬야지. 기시 봐도 쓰지. 매는 봐도 쓰지. 세바 봐도 숨 쉬는 데리다. 다 기시 봐도 써야지. 봐도 챙기봐 말이. 겨안에 집에 바르길래 내가들래 바르스 쓰들라. 겨안에 계시 dum네 치시 마두게 바들래 기시 봐도 쓰. 이만테네 매는 봐도 써야지. 매는 매는 길 봐도 써야 봐도 단지 봐도 별 샤브인 봐 매는 류지 어디 매는 봐도 지지 네 버스 시바 봐도 쓰는 봐도 넣지.
okay, so pardo in Tibetan term, rapardo means something that's in between, yeah, or intermediate, right? Intermediate. So there are three types of pardos. So one pardo is called in between birth and death. So that is It's not um, real pardo, but we call it pardo. Okay, and then there's another pardo is like sleeping dream. Okay, dream intermediate or the dream as pardo. This is also in between something, right? And then the actual, the siba, samsaric pardo or the siba pardo is the actual pardo. That is actually happens after death and rebirth, in between death and birth. This is the actual birth. I'm sorry, the intermediate. So there are three types of pardos, three types of intermediate.
담분이부터 봐도 말이지.
Oh yeah, the first two ones are not real pardo, but we call them pardo.
전에 봐도 두 숨이야 제야리. 봐도 숨이야 제야리 뒤에 니 봐도 친구부터 세번 봐도 되어야 돼. 미시지 봐도 현다 되겠지. 봐도 담부 숨이봐. 이간에야 야 봐도 숨이 샤니. 봐도 두 숨이야 제야리. 어디 지단 봐도 친구가 말이 봐도 친구부터 지레야 말이.
And also sometimes they are classified as six types of pardos. Okay, again, the pardo that is occurs between death and the birth is always there's the actual pardo. All the rest of the other pardo always is not part. We call them pardo, but it's not real pardo.
다때네 봐도 기시 되는데 정도 다 기시 되시리야. 다때네 숨바 깨네도 겨울인데 춘이 봐도디 얘네를 판도로 봐. 데이트 겨울인데 춘이 봐도가디 매년도 겨울인발라 내 숨문도 줄이지. 얘가 숨다 저시 그 스타til라 봐도디 많이 견도 견도 잡아라. 내 숨문도 줄이지. 춘기 주로 지고야. 춘기 숨체 제제들 숨이야. 그래서 내 숨문도 줄어야. 내가 숨다 저시 그래서 내 숨문도 줄어지다. 내가 숨다 저시. 다 내내지 다내 숨부터 춘기 숨부터래. 마디 내내지 다제 차다 때문에 거긴 봤어. 다티네 거긴 봤어. 제생여러 코신 주의되봐. 봐도디 디 여러 코신 마이니에도 주의되봐 지고야. 주의되봐. 네 부모님 편주 차리시 채바디 내 숨도 주고서 부모님이 편주 차리시 채부지고 이야기했어. 이经济 수입부터 다전에 다 어디지 다전에 얘기 숨부터 뒤 많이 얘기 많이 얘기 내기 있다고 많이 얘기 제가 얘기 있지 내가 무슨 내 속에서 그것도 군주님부터 차부제 뒤에 분부를 세송아 뒤에 부부 차기 매버리 차야 매버리 아니 입던 자와 시내기 입던 자와 지체 조매께부터 양 거디 꾸디 도도 입지 깨드 파버 지어봐 어디 조매께부터 자와디 예 아프고 차투매버리 맹이 조매 카던 자와 깨봤던 자와 아모그 카던 자와 아모그 카드기는 어다 아모그 지금도 제나 이 부부차기 매버리
So now we have covered up to pardo, right? Pardo. Now next topic would be birth.
얘기가 언제 제버리다.
Okay, birth. So again, so birth can have, and there are different types of births. Now we talk about someone who is going to be born in a mother's womb. Okay. So then, in order to be take rebirth in mother's womb, it needs to be it has this mother womb has anyway. So this the all six factors has to become together. Six facility has to become together. So three of them are like necessary or something has to be happen. It has to the the what's it the presence. Okay, and there are three obstacle has to be free from no, free. Okay, yes, three kind of like three things has to be free from three thing has to be avoid and three has thing has to be present. Okay, that makes six kind of factors. Okay, now the first one ne or the something that needs to be present. Yeah, uh nemeba means free from this the womb. Okay, we're really talking about the womb. Womb has to be free from any defect or any the also be free from any medical kind of like in general terms like a medical conditions. Yeah, nemeba free from sicknesses. Yeah, and then and then the second one is that the tisa or the pardo being, okay, smell eater, the pardo being has to be around that mother or around that womb, and also has to have an intention to enter into that womb. Has to have that. These two, one thing, right? And the last one is that the father and mother has to meet at the time. That means like they need to be the engaged into kind of sexual union. Okay, union. Okay, these three things has to be take place or presence has to have present. Now, three things that needs to be avoided and that needs to be free from the three things is the first one is the this basically they are mainly is talking about the shape of
Nibati, Nibati, Stupid. Nibati, Suniva,
Ale, let's listen.
Nia Tandati, Nibati, Sunia, Nibati, Nibati,
Ale thangpo nyegi nyeba dila sumsha teacher right.
Nibati, Sunduba,
Oh,
Dile, Chile,
nyeba. Let's listen. So nyeba means sometimes I think nyeba means false. Okay, false. Okay, one of them is called like a some kind of defect on a mother's womb. Okay, that could be. This is mainly talking about the shapes of the mother's womb. Mother womb cannot be shaped like barley seed. So barley seed means like a shape of the barley seed is like a narrow at the two ends and the kind of like a thick in the middle, right? Cannot be at that shape. Okay, and the shape of the womb will be like not should not be like the what's it the ant the little ant yeah creature. What do you call this? Vase, stomach, belly? No, it's he has the big belly, right? The shape of the ant
The body.
has some kind of body, and there's a little connection in the between, right?
Yeah.
And there's a big kind of like buttock, right? And the middle there's a little connection. Cannot be like that shape. That means like thick on two edge and the narrow in the middle, center. Cannot be shaped like that. Okay, and and then the the colors. Among yes, cannot be shaped like camel's mouth. Okay, I don't know what they're referencing. Maybe like a swollen. Camel has a big mouth, right?
They have a big mouth.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a swollen. I think some kind of. I don't know.
That is it.
These are the defects of the womb.
That is it. 다 파마니 가야로 제 쿠다 뭐 중요한 것을 봐봐. 예 파마니 가야로 원래 지 쿠다 대법 지 쿠다 마밤네 부처네. 나 뒤념도 야 나치 법스네 니가 kuda baba imbala kuda dinga chi babsuna jinya bab chi ju bu nyumbu dinya du ma baba ina ani ki bu chal mebre ji.
Okay, second fall is that substances. When we're talking about the substances, okay. So they both of them has to release substances. The father and mother. We're talking the father and mother, right? Has to release the substances, and they cannot release substances in like different times. Okay, time has to be met, has to be at the same time.
다 kuda ni bude sabi ni bude junyam tu babjang ji gu kuda di river of china ani ya bu chal mebre.
Even though they falls together, they release together or meet together, just two substances. If one of the substance got defected, or something is not the what do you call this alive, so then again cannot be the pregnancy cannot be occur.
다 제사 디 사비 ni ba si da dile.
So this is the falls of substances. The first one is the womb. Now the substances.
다드네 제서 어머니지 우리께 내 마사바스 다디 레깅에 받들 제서데 바시디 어머니 우리께 내 마사바이나 니 니에도 좀 통해 디 게임도체.
So the last one has to have like karmic connection with his parents and the baby who's taking birth, right? If they're lacking that connection, so it's not going to occur.
다 부모님부터 아마리 그게 내 마사바 레깅이 바스야 제서코라 부모님이 우리기야 내 마사바이는 그거 맞죠.
So yeah,
야 부모님이 되게 제서되게 아마리 기야 내 마사바이는 네 그거 맞죠. 어디 맞죠. 디 레깅이 바스.
so let's say like your mother, the parent has to have a karmic connection with the child, the the newborn kind of being, right? And also this part of being has to have a karmic connection with the parents. Okay, that needs to be like kind of like cross, kind of like the action. So like it has to have like karmic connection from both sides.
다디네 니에도 제와는데 중기 창 외신 예지숨다 테라 제서디 가만히 뭐지고 주신 통들 제바제바 인기 그렇게나 다디 중기 숨창 예지숨다 테레 저와디 전에다 제서디 바두디 부모님이 님부 제가 통한데 제니 포르지와 있나 부지고 있는 말을 쳐기 차는 중이야. 아니 말을 지니는 니 팔을 차는 중이야 됐어.
So once you have all these six facilities means the three things that need to be present. Now it's the presence, and three things. It's three falls. That's like a free, free being free from like three falls. Then the part of being when it comes here. So then that actually opens all. He gets the access to take and enter into that place and take rebirth. Yeah. Now the part of being. So if the part of beings develop some kind of more attachment or more closer kind of relationship with mother, so this part of being is going to be born as a male. Okay? If they have a connection with their father, like cross connection, or they feel more attached to the father, so then that being, part of being is going to be born as a female.
다드네 아니 근데 바두디 치킨 근데 지그래 바두디 지선이 봐. 다들이 많이 얘도 년도 전에 그 바두 시부로 봐. 시네 요새 아니 시스템 그렇습니다. 바두 시네 아니 겨울에 물어봐. 어디에서 다들 시스템이 그렇게 해서는 네 마 가만히 차지 다들 아 네 차지 차지 다 말이긴도 좀 그런 것 같은데 가만히 마토마치 세마참 시통 네 konduki chini chisip chi phale chasuna chi mala chasuna ani chadang yedan dati nyambo jeba de thone phamani nyambo jeba thone gyune maingen jugal metile ani chema jam mishma thone ini konduki
체마스도 zambal라 포머기 체마스 워르 딱 체마스 무슨 말이야
부모님부터 맞으면 체마점 통화에서는 콘두께서는 뒤치견체니 재미를 지견 그리고 이게 좀 지견 뒤전이 치위야 되는데 마이크 듣기 하는 게
So before we enter into the womb, right? So then part of being has to go through dying process, death, right? He has to die, right? This one. And there is a force. There's two different forces that actually cause them to die. Once they see either one, like it could be like one of this part of being attached to one of the parents, right? It could be a mother or father. This is how they develop attachment. Yeah. So then, because of the attachment, they attract them. So they try to enter into that what's it, place, right? Place. Then they found themselves, or they kind of realized at the moment the only thing they can see is the organs of the parents. Okay? Then at the moment they develop hatred. They develop some kind of anger. Or they get angry, something like that. These two forces, these two attachment, and then this is how they, all we say like all these are actually caused by, the karmic kind of like karma, right? Then these two forces actually makes them, force them, these two things, attachment and aversion, force them to die. Okay, so this is how this mental affliction cause them to take rebirth.
다른 디레치 갑디레 차바타부 도수 바바나 주토코와 다티네 다티 부구 차야 디그레스 지그레스네 하마니니 뭐체 감감마슈 다 동다티니 든주자니가 나네 니 쿠아티파비야르바 쿠아티파 차바타베 온도 바바나 주토 쿠아 가와리 중스타 주티라 쿠아 가와치 인크리스 데트
당워도 샤고라.
라보마니 바 중라 이 제서 파마니가 푸다기 티바 레리 네바르 중아 이멘 제네스 다 주도 가와지레 중글바 이 제도 이 제들 아니 파마니게 푸다 티바레리 바지 인그리스 당가레리 바지 이 맹에도 제바디 우스다 쇼체주지 빈마라시도가 엄마가 빈마라비지 이제 차가 디고서니 바주스 신티우스 슈크리스
Anyway, so I was just reading through the text. Okay, it seems like when the father and mother, when they get union, right? Union, they kind of like draw the substances from the 32 types of channels. That channels actually spread out through their body, Okay, they're kind of extracting all these substances from their body and kind of like narrowing down and coming out of their organs. Looks like, and the text explains like what type of substances. They're not the initial one, not the middle one. At the end, they begin to release sort of like from these channels of body or the father and mother, right? Begin to release very pure aspect of that substances. And when these two substances meets together, then that actually serve as the basis or the a place to enter the part of being. Right?
다들 다 최근에 통화를 받을 감 지우다네 니에게 고슨 부분도 다 동자 된지 자니 나는 받을 tilida 프로티 받을 내가기 군도지 논남 팀내 나지 토슨 미샤를 어디디 나지 진짜
또 파마디로와
아
파마디기 시작하고 나중에 또 순서에
어디 봐도지
또 그런
이게 나지 토슨 차고
아니야
지워서 나지 토슨
이 코아디 길러래 나중에 또 샤라디 코아디 길 샤오래
거기기
코아기 시고라 시스데 코아기들래
거기들 다 시스템들이
코아기
시스템들이 자꾸 이리봐 아니 이 지도 잠바 부다지 기수치고 봐 시스템 개발인 거 봐.
내 지금 잘못이 대가랑
아
시험에 내니한테 시험을
나지 토슨도
나중에
네
이렇게
그 나지 토슨도 라루 그걸 받아 나는 시스템에 되게 이렇게 봐 얘도 다 토슨도 근데 라루 시스템에 영도이가 잘 지기를 봐.
Okay, so again, he's reading from the text. This looks like the once they meet these two substances, then the part of being enters into that, then the part of being kind of like it dives into that place and experience all these the three luminous and stuff like that, and then the clear light. From their clear light, so the all this process begin to reverse. Then you have human being.
다 봐도 치세 나만 나를 읽어봐 너를 그 제발에 미투 제발 좀다 다디 봐도디 단 봐도 셈디라 차를 치면서 잡인바 또 시찬네들이 마이 세디 가인도 다 겨울에 빈바 이 겨울에 때때 겨울에 비좀 같아요 셈디라 라루 그러고
So again, same thing. This all this dissolution process, when they dissolve from grosser to level, it's kind of facing towards the death clear light, right? When it's leaving from the clear light, all this becomes grosser and grosser, going away from his subtle mind, and it becomes grosser and grosser.
그 롱중기 녀독도 그러고 녀독들 기시시기 그 기시들인데 아마 타도 그 녀독도 해야지 말다 군도 세임바 네 님들 아마 타도 그 녀독도 해 녀독도 주변에 것들 기시시기
Okay. So now we need to have a really clear line. What is this next life, right? So let's say part of being, right? Part of being enters into the substance and going through all this the dissolution process, clear light. As soon as he leaves that clear light, the next moment he will experience near attainment. Okay. As soon as he reaches that moment, that near attainment, that is say the birth, taking place. Taking place, the birth.
다들이 얘네 봤더니 얘 때문에 쳐봤습니다. 7에 나와 두는 나와 들어버려 봐. 나와 두는데 때문에 니가 다시 제주 군도세 두비야래. 다시 디오라 니 디제스니 얘기 넘버 10은 이 넘버 10 두고를 봤던데 얘기네 것도 이 기남시다 유시도 두비야래. 유비시다. 다 미게 넘버 10 나의 넘버 10 지 넘버 10 두수 두비야 매버. 다시 나 네.
걸음치네요, 잘.
미 통야야 말봐. 다시 니 마이 니
Pick up some making number 7 is mess over there.
니 넘버 10이야. 니 통야 매다.
유시마도 요말수가.
유시.
Okay, now the near 10 men then just into the right, the red luminous, white luminous, then all these 80 types of mental conceptual, right? Conceptuals, right? Conceptual thoughts, minds. And then they after that, then they again there are a lot of things needs to be arise or develop or rest out like that, right? The first this being, the being, right? It's gonna have body consciousness. There are 6 types of organ consciousness, right? He will have this body consciousness. He or she.
다시 나와 가는 버스야지 봐. 이 시험을 집에 농들에 근데 남식이 때 집에 니 내가 쳐버지 집에 니 집에 농지 끼네 남식이 넘버 10 이게 넘버 10이 또 비했다. 나 이게 넘버 10이 내가 쳐버지 집에 농지스
Dini kaso di kalam batin dua. Kalam batin. So then you have a black, red, and white, right? White. At the moment of the white, at that moment, they actually kind of like stirs and creates a very specific wind. Okay, wind. That wind actually serves as a mount for the mental consciousness.
다시 제수 may come to be.
After that, then we have fire elements.
네, delay never change. That should come.
So that actually force develop fire, the water.
네, say can come.
Then earth.
네, 좋아 시세한테 담보 lungi. 좋아 또 something.
Lung, right. Lung, yeah, at this point you have all 4 elements, right? 4 elements. First you have wind, then fire, water, and earth.
좀 시디 쟁기게스. 봐도 공간에 있는 봐도 공간에 다 봐도 돼. 공간에 있는 주 버렸어. 고야를 받고 좀 세지. 고구세야지.
봐도 그런 게 류기 보스 거를.
되게 말이야.
왜? 그 여름에 그 류메와.
뭐
아마 영어. Yes.
어디 마이 단 마이게 도도로 그 고군에 근데스 그래서
Yes. Okay, now the part of being has to enter into mother's womb, right? Now there are 9 doors. There are 9 access how they can actually enter into mother's womb.
어디 남샤리 벌레스야 되네 그래서네 남나고 지도네 남 지도들 남나고 스키 남나고 지도네 주버시스 동중네
디 그래 남랑이 거 지도는 주세 또 내주도 데니시 워래 그래.
네 지단 지도네 남나고 거시게
그거.
남만한테
So tiny chair mother got the
그래서네 디바 루이지 타니레
tiny chair there. Yeah.
남나디 루이다바 남나임바 제사 루이지 조 지도를 요새 루이지 조 자세가부터
Yes.
제사 지도네 마주야들래 주가 시에드리스
Then namna ina chizun jure alita jusa go goody shegor bela.
지
Let's.
남나
Okay.
거시게 지도
Let's. Okay, the what you call this Brahma prana is on the crown, right? So that is called a Varachana door. Okay, Varachana door.
다 동주다도 이제 태어났으면 나를
Okay, domjung.
어디 이 칸에 주스 봐도 많이
Ale, pardon, the juksan this shegor. Okay.
많이
Sorry.
해도 다
Let's. Okay. Now it seems like now it's more clear. So that's why I asked. I wondering why should they anyway, different texts they have different ideas and different standpoint. I sort of like, and the some say it is entered through the crown prashna, some say in the mouth and stuff like that. Okay, this is the idea. The namnan ma sugar is saying the karna sugar.
지도네 식으로
Chizun sugar is saying the karna sum.
아 남자지
Namsha riba. Okay, I don't know. So one text. Namsha riba. Okay.
내가
And then-
그거
And also this is actually a text on tantric text, okay. And then and some text say domjung 하고요. Dom means samaya, okay, source of samaya, something like that, okay. The text, name of the text. In that text it says intimated being enters through the mouth.
다들 정말 봐도 칸 지도네 슈디 배 상면에 전스 아니 마이 배마 슈스도가 자동다 든지쟁이는 내세 자세감부터 막 어버리는 거로니 보이니까 배 칸이 지도네 슈 근데 마이 배면 알마
지도는 수제.
많이 빼면은 이 파만이 님부 집에 값으로 많이 빼면 안 되죠. 니들 수들이
되게 관리지 순다 안 됐어.
정말 봐도 백한 지우네스 주디 배상내네 저 바이상내네
아니?
많이 년치
파이 되는 주지라서.
바이상내네 저 많이
다간다 파이 지도는 뭐 쇼고 걸어.
많이 지도함 칸네스
니 가르나 숨으래.
단대대
domjung들이 왜?
동주다 queen이
Okay.
dom나
Okay, so in both case, looks like either it's like you're entering through the prashna or the mouth, right? So there, the part of being is entering through the father's prana or mouth. Okay, then it goes through the father's body. There's channels and stuff like that go through and kind of travels through the organs of the father and gets into the mother's womb. Funny way to say. Anyways, I don't know.
지다한테 발도시 토메리 많이 년도 좀 잡아지세는 그때 지내 주부를 미셔지기 콜레지 온 비인사 지다 봐도 그 토메이지 근데 주주주로 지야 뒤에 년도 잡아지세는 그 레를 전에 좀 위해서
Okay. And then in general is that the Pardo beings' bodies are obstructable, right? But it can enter from any places. But there's the only thing that can stuck one of the place would be like a mother's womb, says mother's womb, right? Anyway, so literally, literally, you can say a part of being can enter from any side of the body or where, right? But because this is karma, karmic process, and because of their reason, so they had to go enter through either prana of the father or the mouth of the father.
다들 저질레시에 많이 깨네 그거는 주가 다시 비슷비슷 되게 숨도 도면은 많이 깨네 아니 가이 가다 지도 가는데 고숨도 가다 고숨도 되게 시에인도 저질레시에 많이 니에 보내주고 다른 남샤리부터 저는 집에 집중해 줘 버려. 지금 칸해 줘 버려. 시에서나. 다 뒤순간은 좀 해야 돼.
Okay, then the commentary on the what's it the Kasa. Abhidhamma Koshikalika. Okay. And that text said that the part of beings enter into mother's womb through the womb. Okay, there's no any other channels and stuff like that. Anyway, so if you look into all these three texts, then you will see there are three possible access to enter into the womb. Prana, mouth, prana, and the crown of the father, and the mouth of the father, and the mother's womb. There are three access.
다들 많이 그냥 좀 전에 되네. 아니 매프에 롱게 땡기 바르테 예바라 니나 주베시 스타디 마이 니에도 니 나이게 니에디 스타디 마이 니에도 과이샷 야레스는 마이 니에디 매프에
This is how good.
롱게 땡기 말테 예바라 니나 주베시
In the text, it actually describes the location of mother's womb. What you call this womb, right?
Womb, yeah.
Womb, okay. And it's like underneath the stomach, and then in between. Chogo wachi, and
그래요
chogo wachi, any.
롱게
누가
롱스야제로
Long,
비땡
뭐 찾아.
long, long, kare.
딱이라
멋지네요.
시도가
Long,
누가 실어서
너무
누가서 뭐 지죠. 뭐 지죠.
Pod bulur, parul lasta hai.
그 원래
Long, long, to me, pod, because wad yogur madu jige. I should be long, pod, last in the car, such a meal. Anyway, it's underneath the stomach and above something long. I don't know what
요래 오늘 뭐 원래
kare long lan kare.
무슨 오늘 찾아서
루카스
누가서 지요. 누가서
롱스의 제리야 돼
저기 이제
저다치다 대세치도가
Ale, that did away. The wall to the home, any did.
학교에서
Because things are super quiet, how would they share this? Anyway, looks like a colon. Like above the colon. I don't know.
학교에서 시작하자. 학교. 되게 소리 하고 있어.
There's lots of medical books that
뭐
That was just.
뭐 원래 또
Like I was just telling you, there's no confusion about the location of this. Anyway, 아니,
엘리데이션 진짜 저쪽
슈 당벌을 되게. 칼날 내주다.
아
칼날 내주래. 하는 게 뒤와 나오죠.
머리
Any questions?
yes
How many can I ask?
How many?
How many questions can I
Let me think.
Rinpoche, how did they discover this? Were they
그것도 근데 간다 사고를 했어. You mean like how they enter into the
yeah, the
womb
whole process, like the whole
Just
bath,
from
Oh,
death
yeah.
to
Did somebody meditate and then
long process.
Or they
Are you
died?
including from the death to the birth?
yeah,
All thing. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That is again. like tana ga ta de shi yoro again 가서 치원 와 교린지 깨워 뭐 빠빠 십 차고 쉬우죠라 지 간다 사고 왔어 보다
산지 좀 되네. 제리게 들어서 제리대 전부전에 아니 뒤도 제리 예수 근데 제리대 근데 메시지 신경에 생기야 봐. 제리 뒤도는 내 자신을 쓰게.
상해 좀 되는 소리 라고라 because it's taught by Buddha right Buddhas and which was just saying like this is the scientifically it is proven that what we describe is very similar to scientists modern science very kind of like very similar explanations.
제리 마다고네 뒤도 산지 숨차.
Yeah.
산지 응시야라.
Because Buddha knows that because Buddha has clairvoyance.
그래서 집에 말아.
It's not like us. Yes.
Thank you, Rinpoche. When Rinpoche was talking about first from Black Mirror Attainment all the way up through that period of time, 4 elements. My question is, does that take a period of time as the physical body is developing, or is that
Instant.
instant? Yeah, or is it super quick?
Okay. This is the penetration to the 파도기 가서 녀톱니 야 좋아해 지어로 봐 이게 본도기 주다 네 가서 좋아시야 계속 줘라 이 림바디 penetration 나 니나로라 답나 보고디야 살론 주에 그런 뒤져라지 이런 거 나와 구서라 지어라 근데 냠도 저지야 루이나야 백코럼 겹고 쉬우지배야
봐도 그런데 야말 봐도 가잘.
마 봐도
그냥 내가
네 가서
어디다 중앙되게 저거 집중해야 돼. 이게 지미셔야 말이야. 봐도
딱 겹보를 했어 그러 it's very quick it's like very quick takes very little amount of time was very quick.
Good question. And you had said that spontaneous birth doesn't depend on anything
Okay.
naturally.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense. It has to
It
depend on
makes sense.
something.
Because this is the penetration the also doing the zuge de khala matem bata was ke bar resla ro khala matem wala ne cancer resha sa khala resha
맞은 거 쓰기는
actually I asked the same question. Okay, I asked the same question. Then look Rinpoche actually mentioned it at the end. He said like not like that kind of it doesn't depend on mother eggs and stuff like that.
So what does it depend on?
지단데 땡지.
안타 가리 갈 때 말했어 다. 때데 있는 가리 갈 때 말했어. Depends on karma.
Oh,
가서 내가 뭐 신등에 내가 섬수셔. 아. Yeah, you go first.
Oh, is there a difference when twins take birth? I mean, how does that connection happen where there's
ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਛੇ마를 지게 봐야 간대요 그랬어. ਛੇ마.
어제지 기분이 제법이에요.
알네. Maybe just swimming, maybe they might have different drops, flows.
휴대데 지금 가와 제세수만 코디나네 휴대를 가와 지금 그랬어. 예. 티바레르진 마이 티바지. 파이 티바지 시수마. 사티 제주 티바르 지니르 제베이나.
So if you remember, which I said, when the substances kind of creeps, right? And he kind of like make like different stages, like initial kind of stages, and also he described the quantity and the texture of the substances, right? And the middle one is kind of thicker, he said something like that. At the end, it comes very pure and comes in very deep. So that is actually that is the place they get into, like all the other thing, right? Maybe they may have like 2 drips in hand, something like that. So that's then they can have twins.
티베디니 제인도 좀 봐. 아니 그 류디 자르베베 친구야 봐.
Ale, chema.
야 제산 제만이 류디 자르베베 치기도 봐.
This is given. This is what chema 되려 보고 chema 되려라.
제산 보고 제만.
그럼 네 가가르다 미 제 수고 잘 되거든요 말다미. 다시 돼 가서 뭐 잘된 게 로드는 거. 근데 시고 말다.
누가? 수준이 뭔지.
this is what chema라는 수교 this is what. Anyway, the 2 drapes, they might have, at the end, they might have 2 drapes, so that's what they might have, that's what they can twins.
말도 요래대 어떤 주치되면서 빼다 되는 주의요. 빼다 되는 주가 되는 때스 대부분 소리는 나이스는 저 빼전기 아니 주제 괜찮이 말로. 네, 가서 저다 밀람담 백합수 아니 밀람기 류 밀람기 류 야나 밀람기 나와대 요가 인상 아니 먼저 때라 때네 빼다 때네 아니 가서 바둑이 류가
다들 두고 알았어.
대단.
이 주제 간지
Tupchi yang taba remidos iwor. Rala. There's rade. Tupchi yang taba remidos iwor.
내는 일찍 아니 미 내가 폼부티를 로스 내는 수직 조부도가
밀람기 류대 요가 되는 거지.
Milam gi lead yoba the contest to guess.
다디 밀람기 유바디 다던데디 메신 니마도와 딜레시아스나 제리기 다제 제니 밀람기 류지 루 시에스나 디나시다 밀람기 류지 유바디 다 유바디 다 네 산적이 캠버바 다 이네 다디 파디 심주치디 니마 제리기 딘데지 시에스나 다디 가르스네 만두 밀람기 류 참으죠 봐. 류 참으지 그 류라바디 니녀들이 류라바디 샤다디 류들 봐. 다이 밀람기네가 류 참으지 치니 어찌 연지야든지 어딘지
제가 밀람담 백합수가 밀람기 류지라.
머리
어디는
밀람 땅에 내가 수가라 주지다 버지는 로야기 밀람 tin데 샤수나 어딘데 샤바디 있잖아 류 참으지 로야기 지지 예배인
Penal hasal to nilam tana luji thamach hasal leyo sigora. Leyo sigora. Ene sigdo mission. Kanza reti. Samo tawana le samo dewaji shingamla dewaji shingamla le nilam ta ngal lu thamach dewaji shingam le bani. 나 dewaji shingam le sarda. dewaji shingam le nilam ta sigra sore mare.
나 되게 참을 때 lama.
Melam dingli thamach sugaji.
저나서 해요.
Sugaji. Melam dingli
저
thamach
참을
sugaji.
저런 좀 많이 해 봐. 저런 게
Do you want to say your question in English? Maybe more clear.
So my thought was in terms of the establishing the existence of the barter body. Rinpoche said that we established that by way of an analogy or by way of an example. So I was thinking, well, how does an example function as a correct sign or a correct form of reasoning? You know, why do we use an example to establish the existence of the body? So Rinpoche said, well, it's because we can say for certain that there is definitely a dream body, right? This dream body does exist. So then my next question was, well, how do we know that the dream body exists? How do we know that there is a body that exits our sleeping body and goes around during the time of dream? And Rinpoche said, well, this is stated by the Buddha, and the Buddha is all-knowing. And so this is something that we have to accept on the basis of what the Buddha has stated. And then Rinpoche said, yes, and there was a scientist apparently who did some kind of study and established the existence of some kind of body that exits our sleeping body and travels around. So this idea of the dream body is something that it's not necessarily that controversial. And so then Tashi was asking, well, how do so this dream body, if we dream that we go to Lhasa, does that mean that this dream body went to Lhasa? Then yes. And then then Tashi said, well, then if we have a dream body that goes to Tushita, then we went to Tushita. Yes.
And what was the answer?
Yes. The dream body is for girls.
Any questions? Any more questions?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
Rinpoche, I read about peaceful and wrathful deities in the Bardo. Can Rinpoche talk about what their purpose is?
Deity. You see deity. Okay.
Yeah. If you can't change the shape or the future rebirth, then what is the purpose of those peaceful?
But there are two the views, right, on that. The two kind of ideas. One idea says you cannot change. Another idea says you can change.
Okay.
Do you want to stick with the Abhidhamma view?
I don't know. I just want to know what is the purpose of those peaceful and wrathful deities. Do they do something to help you, or what are they doing there?
Peaceful and wrathful deities.
Yeah.
Where did you get this question from?
Yeah, in the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Oh, you're from that book. Okay, that book. Okay. I was like, where does this question came from? Also, this is when I found the color Keshi and the tapes yore. The Kiawa Shiva. Didn't know ya. And Pardo like this Zamarani, Ha Chapo, and Ha Shiva, and two rest, Lavshas, Ha Shiva, the Chapo, the two rest. Two guys go back and rest.
Yes, Sashi ran a Jita to Sanjo Chiaris. How Tapuchiaris, they Miguel Tapuche 17 days in a tea sus Jenny. Run Jita Green su Mitubatini. Yeah, but in the chasing,
okay, let me check with you something. You said deity. Okay, deity, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean in Tibetan we call yidam?
Yeah, I was just gonna
Are you
ask.
going to talk about yidam or in general kind of like god or goddesses or something like that?
They are some of them that look scary and some of them that look nice and
you're talking about like a general kind of like a deity.
That's what they talk about it as
God, right?
A peaceful and wrathful deity. So I was wondering, are they yidams?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's one of the second part of the question. Are they actually like a yidam, like Yamantaka or Ikara, And
so
what are they doing there?
Okay.
In that.
Okay, for your first questions, right? So Rinpoche got an impression that when I see you in the deity, right? He got an impression that it's referring to a god, normal god or goddess or something like that. Yes, when we go through this intermediate state, we're going to see a god and goddesses, and some of them are very scary, some of them are very peaceful, some of them wrathful, right? Peaceful ones actually tend to help us, and the wrathful ones actually scares us, like kind of terrifying to us. Okay, this is your the first impression for you. Response to your question. Now I'm going back to your second question. Tapi nasi dalam hal ini turu Chapo dan ini tu si peci dengan yoda tak cikgu tu kandil lain aku masa.
That Gabusine, Jitangi, Sutin, the Isha, Chatapusit,
She's a lassie and highlight in the
Chatapusit, Chatapusit, the candy, Mishi.
The Koran is this you the lassie to a lassie that had the tapo de turu. The pen jigje over Jina jigje the pet tapo could number share. This is the tapo had to some the jigje the yidam in the reves than case Timorian.
The Yidama Kubiamare, Tembe Kusu Jenny, sure, the hash what in the yard, Jeresica, Tomorrow, the Sonum, Tindig, how Jeresi combat. nga daja gu tumba gi ta komba da dire mambu chabala tene ani kange che indi ani kusu dire chai kusu birang ji ka dire patu ji ta dire kyubiyare ani mai ba mambu chi che shi ne dita chimba gi ani su mi to ba dire randa ji ji ta chimbu ke ya gi ani su dire mambu te su dire wa du su gi te de randa kange ma ji ta shi ki gre ba 타이 수치 차인데 좀 바라는 숨겨지기 가부치 연구를 봐.
So again, looks like Rinpoche got the same impression. So when you say deity, right, he's not sure what kind of deity you're talking about exactly, and what it, in the text when they use deity, what they referring to, what kind of deity, right? Anyway, so we're just saying like it totally depends on like how your life has been. Like if you are being practiced, meditating on Shakyamuni, Tara, all these kind of deities, right? Because of this virtue, so then when you go to the intermediate state, then you tend to see everything and appears sort of like appears everything is in that aspect. If you're really familiar with Buddha Shakyamuni, then they always, the appearance will more like you will see as in Atma, Shakyamuni, Tara, and stuff like that. If you have done very bad thing in your life, all these horrible things and stuff like that, so again, that will influence your the appearances in that part of being, and you will have all these, scary kind of terrifying kind of appearance and stuff like that.
되네 돈바니 야부 공부에는 지다 가지 지자네 두수라 하는 다와디 제네 지다 간게 시야리 디디네 유체버 돈바니 야부 공부에는 빠지네 것은 라시메베 다와디 제인비 아니 지다 가르치 내라시 메선바 진바이 선바르 찬미 지다 간게 시야리
And also, if you are very familiar with the emptiness or meditate on emptiness, efficiently, so that actually helps you a lot during the intermediate states. So whatever appears to you, even though they're like scary, terrifying stuff like that, since you have a knowledge of emptiness, that means things are lack of intrinsic existence. But then you feel like even though they appears to you like any form, any appearances, scary, whatever, right? Then you can apply that knowledge. You think like, oh, these are unreal, these are fake, these are not true, and so that. That actually keeps your mind calm, not get scared of all these appearances.
아니 그 수수 남주비 나와도 간가 봐도 나왔지니 고미야야 아는데 나와 잡아도 봐도 인삼버지 예 봐도 인삼버지 됐대 몇点버 인삼 나와디 남주 군지 제비는 아니 봐도 샤인데 좀 봤지 봐도 나와디 몇点버 아니 지금 심해 봤지 나와디 차이 됐더니 지다 시두비를 봤다 그래서 그냥 그 자와디 그 그래 지다 그 자와디 라시 그래서 그래 라시 그 주반 좀 버틀 내려야 봐 내게 그 자와디 아니 이 매버디 공지야 버체는
Oh yeah, there's a practices like the similar pretending or meditating, whatever you experience in this life. So you just imagine all of these are pardo appearances and pardo experiences, and try not to get like all this strong emotion towards whatever appears to you at this moment. You're training. You can train in that way. Taking like example from the Pardo experiences and apply here in whatever you have experienced this moment, right? If you do that, if you are trained in that way, so then when the Pardo, when you enter into the Pardo, when you experience the Pardo state, so then you are familiar with all these appearances and stuff like that. They will not scare you, and then all of these scare or the terrifying aspect, whatever experience you can say experience or appearances, whatever, all of these are caused by believing in self-existence. Yeah, if you remove that, that belief, saying like all things are lack of intrinsic existence, selflessness and stuff like that, there's no basis for having all this scare kind of like emotion, feelings towards feelings and stuff like that.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
어디서?
Okay, we'll stop then.
하니까 들려본데. 멜로디.
근데 추도 차가도 추도 차가도
근데 참선.
람산 돼. 뭐 추도 당벌 마도 돼요, 말다.
죄송.
We have 그래서 내가 말해 그런 그 낭미래. 맞아 해봐요 말해. Anyway, so we just want to say like we have a puja at 1:00. If you know Christine, right? Her mom died and she's having 7-day puja over here. Yes, today and next Sunday. So you're welcome to stay here. She's going to bring some lunch, I guess. It's total up to you. Okay.
Next Sunday too.
Because okay, it's up to you. Okay.
이게 말해봐.
No, if you are invited, of course you have to stay, right? If you're not invited, just feel free to stay. Invited by Christian. Okay.